Before the start of this episode, we wanted to give a trigger warning to all those who are listening. We are going to be talking about triggering topics such as SA and other things in those veins of topics. If you are not ready to listen to any topics discussing those, we advise that you do not watch this episode because it is going to be discussed at large, not thoroughly, but we are going to be talking about it and talking about actions that a couple of us have experienced throughout our lives already. Now, with that all being said, enjoy the episode. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of Into the Grove. I'm Ace.
I'm Tori.
I'm Augusto.
Augusto. Sorry.
Oh,
Every
look.
time.
Once again.
There's no way. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna walk away.
that one was starting a bit. That one sounded a bit different.
That was British. You're being British.
A
British boy, an American trying to be British.
I can't hear you guys. I have my headphones on.
It's like this is like the bullying equivalent to like putting the sheet over your head so that the monsters can't get you as a kid. You're not bullying me. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Therefore, you're not bullying me.
Exactly. This is pitiful.
Before we get too off topic, let's
we haven't
actually
even gotten to the topic.
Yeah, let's actually introduce the topic.
What's
which
today's
is
topic?
Man versus Bear. Man versus Bear, because we all collectively agreed that we wanted to talk about it, but because it is like such a topic that is like kind of, it's still a little relevant. It's not super relevant right now, but it is still like there. We wanted to talk about it before it was no longer relevant, so we could also like talk about it and explain our opinions. Like, not that it really matters, but what we think, because everybody's opinions are different, but it is important to express your opinions and everything like that.
Yes.
And that's basically the whole thing of this podcast.
So, Ace.
Unnecessary opinions!
Ace, you researched this topic a bit, so would you like to explain it in case there's people who don't know what Man versus Bear is?
I don't know what it is, guys. I didn't research it. I just kind of saw the TikToks and I didn't get it.
Okay,
I still don't get it.
So, basically, the original concept comes from a TikTok video that was posted a few weeks ago at this point, probably about a month or so ago. And it was I don't remember the TikTok name, the TikTok's like name or anything, but there was this guy who was going up to girls and women and everything like that, asking, would you rather be stuck alone in the woods with a man or a bear? And basically, it was just a question of, would you just basically that? Would you rather be alone in the woods with a random man or a random bear? That is the extent to it.
I would assume all bears are random. I don't make it my goal to familiarize myself with the bears. Not gonna lie, not me. Stay safe though.
Yeah.
They're so petable.
Yes, but with that, like, a lot of women were saying, like, I would choose the bear. I would rather choose the bear. Like, I would choose the bear any day. Like, those were like a bunch of women were saying that, and not all of men, but a lot of men were like, I don't get why women are choosing the bear. They're gonna get mauled. Like, there was a bunch of like discourse of men not understanding why women were choosing the bear. And it's very interesting to look at, both from a psychology view, a sociology view, like just a bunch of different views. It's really interesting to think about because it very clearly shows that these men have not thought about how women live their lives or AFAB people live their lives. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel so informed.
Yeah, we've been informed. Welcome to Ace Teaching.
I am I've been watching a bit of some videos about it. I just while I was cooking dinner earlier, I watched a video by I think I don't remember the name. Hold on. Let me look at YouTube. YouTube, come here.
I
Please.
saw a
Cuz I
couple TikToks about it when it was like, a big topic. I don't see as many
yeah.
of them now, but my For You
Mhm.
page is just very weird stuff at all
Mhm.
times.
Mhm.
I'm
Um
not gonna explain my For You page. I think I
What about
um
explained
is
it in
that?
the last episode. I got into how it's about cuckoo birds, I think.
Yep.
um
Yep.
so earlier I had while I was cooking dinner, I was watching a video by Brie Brian Bryony Claire. I don't know how to pronounce her first name. That's my best guess to it. I don't remember if she said it in her video or not, but she was going over a bunch of stuff, like talking about why so many women were choosing the bear and why so many men were probably think oh actually no the why so many men were thinking it's a direct attack on them was in another video. Kaja Mbowie, she's also I didn't watch her full video. I only watched part of it unfortunately before I had to go and do other things. And then now we're here, so I did learn a little bit, and with all of the videos that have been going around, it's also a big topic. Just in general, a lot of women have been talking about it. A lot of men have been talking about it. It's just generally a big topic.
Hmm. Yeah. So, I think now we should give our input on the question of man versus bear, because I have some opinions,
Oh,
as
Lord.
I'm sure we all do. So,
Mhm.
as someone who has actually grown up and has frequently been like to a cabin in the literal middle of the woods where there are bears, there are like I even went camping at a place where there were mountain lions. So like I've had experiences with wildlife, you know? I
Mhm.
have seen bears walking around just outside of the cabin, and like there's still bears at that cabin, but for the most part, like other than eating the garbage off of off of the porch of that cabin, they don't bother us. Cuz the deal with
Mhm.
bears is the most likely you are to get attacked by a bear is if you're dealing with baby like bear cubs. You're most likely to get attacked by the mother bear, which makes sense. She's
Mhm.
protecting her children. The other
Yes.
time that you're likely to get attacked by bears is during their mating season, where they're more easily aggravated and they're a bit more
Mhm.
aggressive. But
Yeah.
ultimately, if you come across a bear in the wild, it isn't that likely to attack you, as long as you
As
keep your distance and don't bother it.
Yeah, as well as you can quickly look up like ways to like scare off a bear,
And
or
what,
like
depending on what type
there's
of
a
bear it is, because
yeah, like
grizzlies and
with
black bears
grizzlies,
are different.
yeah, like with grizzly bears, I think you have to um play dead, I think, or
Yes,
is that black
black
bears?
bears, I believe you
You have to
can
get big.
scare black bears away.
Yeah, I think
Grizzlies, you
you have to get
cannot.
really big. Like I'm pretty sure with black bears you have to like make yourself really big, put your
Make
arms
yourself a
up.
threat, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And as well and but with grizzlies you just have to play dead because they're not gonna attack you. They're I'm pretty sure I saw something where they're more in it for the chase, a little bit more for a chase than they like to kill their prey and then eat it, not eat the already dead prey.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so like I've never like come across a bear like while I was walking around, but I have walked around the same forest that those bears live in. I've gone like on treks in those forests and I've never once been bothered by a bear.
Mhm.
As someone who
Mhm.
works retail, you want to know who I have been bothered by? Men.
Men.
Men. I was frequently, when I was a minor, I was frequently hit on by men that could be my grandfather. Not even
Yeah.
my
Your
dad, my
grandfather.
grandfather. Yeah, I had
That's
this one
wild.
dude. I had this one guy who comes up to me and I was working clothing retail at the time at like a big department store, and I was in the underwear and lingerie department. And
Oh
I'm
no.
folding stuff in there, and this man comes up to me in there, and he's like, "Oh my goodness!" He like covers his eyes when he sees that I'm holding a pair of underwear that I'm folding.
So mature.
And then he's like, "Oh, I want to buy a gift for my mom. I want to buy my mom pajamas." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll help you. Like, what type of pajamas does your mom like, and all of that." So I'm helping this dude out, and his mom's like 90 or something because he was old.
Mhm.
He was also shorter than me, which was weird. And he was wearing
Short
cowboy
man.
boots and a cowboy hat, which, believe it or not, is not a common sight.
Common
Maybe
sight
like a
for
hat,
me.
but cowboy boots and a
Yeah,
cowboy hat altogether
you're
is
more
odd.
yeah,
That's odd.
you're more southern than us though.
Yeah, I don't.
You are more likely to experience it than we are more in the north. Um
That is
because like
true.
so it's a less likely sight for us to see. So it's a little odd when you see it here.
But
Like
in a
if you're out in the
Okay.
country,
department store
yeah. Yeah,
especially.
especially.
Like a
Yeah, especially at
Okay.
a
fancier
department store.
department store, because this was like a fancier department store. Like we sold like luxury perfume and stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like so anyways, I help this guy out. We settle on two pairs of pajamas for his mom. And then he starts talking to me about Apple Watches and conspiracy theories about the government listening to you, normal topics to tell your local sales girl. Anyways,
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Very
Yeah.
normal.
and then he like
Conspiracy theories. The moon landing was fake.
he looks me head to toe, up and down, and he goes,
Oh.
"You're really pretty."
Ugh.
I
Sorry.
do
Sorry.
not look
Oh.
my age, okay? I look younger than my age. So considering the fact that I was a minor then and I didn't look my
I
age, yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
So I've had
I
much more unpleasant and harassment from men working retail than I've ever had from a bear. So therefore, for the
yeah.
most part, there are some exceptions, and I'll describe my exceptions later. For the most part,
Mhm.
I'm choosing the bear. I don't
Yeah.
think the bear's gonna be bothering me
I
much.
yeah. I am one of the lucky people of the people who were born AFAB. Um and I have never really experienced, at least from what I can tell, harassment, SA, grape. I've never experienced any of that stuff, and I acknowledge that I am one of the lucky few, but I also acknowledge that it could happen at any point. So one of my biggest things is like I think about those things even though I've never experienced it. I've never No one I am super close to in real life has experienced it. Like, I don't know what those chances are, but with it being one in every three women, it's pretty low. For me and all of my real life friends, we none of us really experienced it because we all are country kids. We have never really we've also were never the popular ones. The ones that like were more likely, I guess. That's a bad way to put it, but more likely to catch guys' attentions. Um, so we never really had those experiences, at least as far as I'm aware of. Maybe they did and they never told me. I'm not exactly sure. But Anytime I am out alone, I quite literally am. If I have headphones on, yes, I'll be looking around. I'll like be looking over my shoulder, even if it's plain like flat out like middle of the day. I've never experienced it, but I know it. But I know it can happen at any point. So my like and since I live in the country, there is a chance I could run into a bear. But I'm more, even if I'm in the country, I'm more afraid of men than I am from the bears. I don't see men very often or bears, but I still am more afraid of the men than I am the bears.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, if a bear were to cause harm to me, it is very likely that at least the bear would eat me. And that it would be a
Yes.
quick, painful, but quick death. And
Yes.
I cannot say the same if it were to be a man. I have heard of the horrific things that men have done to women, not all men, and I want to make sure people know that I'm not saying every single man is a
Yes.
monster.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, due to the amount that are, it's hard for a woman or anyone feminine presenting to be like trusting at first of men.
Yeah.
Because you never know, and
Mhm.
oftentimes it's the ones that you think you can trust.
Yeah.
The first person someone looks to when a woman goes missing, is murdered, is typically those closest to them. The
The husband,
husband,
the
the
boyfriend,
father,
the best friend.
the family members, the father, the uncle, all of that.
Yeah.
If
I
a
want to
bear
hear
were to
Augusto.
kill me, the bear wouldn't
Yeah.
try to do anything worse to me.
Yeah. I
Anyways,
want to hear
Augusto, your
Augusto's
turn.
opinion. Yeah, I want to
Well,
hear Augusto's
I've
opinion.
never met a bear. I live in the city, unlike these. Like, I live in a very populated city, so we hardly see bears regardless. But I think I've heard less things about, you know, deaths on bears than anything else with like grape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've had my share of experiences, which I've had stalkers. I've had so many series of harassments from
Mhm.
older men
Mhm.
and what's it called? And I don't know. At this point, I'd rather have a tea party with a bear than deal with
Mhm.
another guy trying to hit on me or what's it called?
Yeah.
Hacking my phone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had really bad experience. And also being AFAB, I God, the amount of things that you get told when you're working customer service.
Oh my god, it's like the worst place for anyone
Yeah.
AFAB or feminine presenting. Because, yeah. You'll get the
My goodness.
creepy old men all the
No,
time.
cuz no, cuz literally this was like a few months ago. Um I was just being a cashier for the place I work at. Just to like what's it called? Fill in for somebody. And I was
Mhm.
going to go on my break and I'm like, "Oh, there's a table coming in. Let me go sit them down." Um
Mhm.
I asked them how many and they said 2 or 3 if you want to join us. These
Ugh.
men look older than my father, and that's saying something.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's like, buddy, why would someone like me want someone like you?
I,
I'm just saying. I'm not
like you
saying it's
said,
all about appearances, but you don't have the personality to save you anyways.
I
Yeah, if
just,
you're asking somebody who's significantly younger than you and very clearly trying to groom them
the
because they are significantly younger than you
yikes.
don't got the personality to fix that.
It's like when the
Yeah,
senior is hitting on the freshman in high school. It's like, if you
Yes.
can't find anyone in your
dude.
grade or in your age range, you
It's like
clearly
the
have
senior hitting on a
issues.
middle schooler at this point.
Well, yeah.
Because here's the thing. That, keep in mind, I've been told the oldest I look is 20. The youngest I look is 16. Within that age range
I'm
is how I
20.
look,
I've
apparently.
been confused with a 14-year-old before, so.
I don't know
Yeah.
how old I look. I've been told I look
You look
older
like
than my age.
You look
like
about your
I've
your
been
age.
told,
age, yeah.
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 I'm like,
Here's the worst part. I started working since I was 14 because you're allowed to in where I'm
mhm,
from.
mhm,
I've had weird men hit on me since I was 14. And I'll be honest, I don't look that great. I looked like a kid back then.
yeah.
So to have people like that hitting on me at that age range is fucking insane.
Mhm.
So
I. Mm.
honestly, I'd probably choose the bear just to have a tea party with him. I think he'd have more decent fucking respect than
And at least
all
they're
these people I've
cute.
had.
At least they're cute.
Mhm.
They're better
They look
looking
so
than half.
petable. Oh my god. I love animals, so I think that also might be that for me. But
But
I've met,
and it
yeah.
and it's also the thing, when, like, okay, I've had one time where I got hit on at work, but it was when I was working the drive-through. They couldn't see my face. They could not see my face. They could not see who I was. All they heard was, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I do for you today?" Or what? No, what can I get for you today? And they said your number. And I'm like,
At that point,
Ew.
it's mostly probably just like a teenage boy screwing
it
around.
was a teenage boy. It
Yeah.
was a teenage boy. Like that
That
was the
sounds
only
like
time like I
something a
ever.
teenage boy would say.
Oh,
Yeah,
do you
like
guys want to hear
it
how
was somebody from the grade below me.
Mm.
there was like some seniors that were hitting on me? Keep in mind, this is like I already graduated. Dude, they were trying to ask for my number and everything. I broke character. You know, if you work in customer service, you stay in character, usually.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
very few times you break character. I broke character, tell them, El Bozo, get good. To their face. Their
Oh
handwriting.
my
They wrote
god.
down, I wasn't even their waiter, but they wrote down their phone number, right? The handwriting was illegible.
Oh
Illegible.
my god. Um.
Actually,
God.
I had a creepy experience with a guy yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Literally yesterday.
Hi.
Perfect timing for this episode, I guess.
Gosh.
Perfect timing. So the other day, not yesterday, but a couple days ago, I get a text from someone I went to high school with.
Oh no.
And I'm like, okay. Oh god, I just remembered another creepy experience. I'll talk about that one later. Um, anyways, I get a text and they're like, hey, do you remember so and so from our high school? And I'm like, yeah, he was always kind of like harassing the girls a bit, but they thought it was funny because he wasn't like attractive or anything, so they were like kind of leading him on. But I never did that, right? I never did that because I thought that was shitty. Um,
Mhm.
and so, anyways, and they're like, yeah, they're still hanging around like the high school and trying to get girls. And
What?
this person is 2 years older than me. At the time they graduated high school, I was 16.
What
I'm
the
20
fuck?
now. They're 22 and they're still hanging around high school girls, 16-year-olds
That
specifically.
No.
okay.
Anyways, I'm not even done. I'm
Sir needs
not even
Sir
done
needs
with
to go to
this
jail.
story. I'm not. So I'm at the mall with my mom, and I see this very kid that I had just been texted about. And I'm like, actually, not even kid, man, because he's not a kid. He is 22.
He's a
Um,
man.
exactly.
Acts like a kid, but is a man.
I see him and I'm like, okay, whatever. That's weird that he's hanging around the mall. Um, but whatever. I mean, he could just be shopping. He's alone hanging out at the
Mhm.
mall. But weird, on a Sunday, so it's not like kids are in school. And the mall is a very popular place for young girls to hang out at. So, I'm just minding
Yeah.
my business. We go shopping. And then as we're leaving a store and we're walking through the mall to get to a different store, I see the kid again. He's walking towards us, and we're going to be walking past him. He makes eye
Mhm.
contact with me, and he
Oh no.
starts to speak, and he's going, looking good, Tori. I'm like, how the fuck does he remember my name? So yeah, he's still a creep. Still weird. And yeah, I'm 20 and he's
My
22. But keep in
God.
mind, he was 18 when I was 16 and was harassing girls my age then. And he still harasses 16-year-olds to this day. He actually got warned by the
Oh,
police to stop stalking a 16-year-old girl, one specific 16-year-old girl. So,
dude. Okay, dude needs a
Oh.
reality check. That guy is one of the reasons why so many women choose bear. Not every woman chooses bear. Some do choose the man.
mm-hmm.
I was gonna wait. Do you
Um.
guys want to hear my reason why I would choose the man?
Yes.
Oh,
Because I'll
sure.
Here's
say
the
my
thing.
exceptions too later
Here's the
on.
thing. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I've watched enough. Here's the thing. Fucked up thing about me. I watched horror documentaries to the point I have
Mm-hmm.
like a deal way how you can get away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person was to ever try to do something, I know a good amount of martial arts to throw someone over my back. If I had,
Mm-hmm.
I know how to make anything into a weapon because I've been trained to by my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, um, guys were actually afraid of me, because they
Mm-hmm.
knew how I
Okay.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they did anything to me, I was up and ready. And the thing is, I
Mm-hmm.
usually when I go to work, I wear steel-toed shoes. So say some guy was coming after me, I know how to do a roundhouse kick and aim for their shin or aim for their stomach.
Oh, or their junk.
Oh yeah, no, that's the easiest one, but they're most likely the way they're probably standing. The easiest way to go is for the hip, for them to fall over. Then you can get aim for the knee to make the fall over, kick them there to make sure they can't get up, and then you can hold them down into a chokehold and make sure you can hold it tight to make sure they're on the ground.
Yeah.
If you ever need to defend yourself, if you can get to their armpit and you pinch and pull, you can like pull a nerve out. So,
Oh,
So, and
ah.
then there is ways you can like hit them in the neck to the point they it knocks them out. Same
Mm-hmm.
with like hitting them up their chin, that could hurt them a lot. 2 pounds of pressure up their nose and they can break their skull.
I know that there's a point on the side of your head that if you hit just right could kill them. Um, it is
This
not
is trying to
recommended. This is not none of this
this
is
none
we're
of
not
this is
recommending any
recommended.
of this.
I'm just
This is just
giving a
fun little facts that we are aware of. Like my one of my friends from high school, he knew about this little thing because he would always bring it up because we it's a joke. We would like lightly hit each other upside the head whenever we were being stupid. And like, you do that as friends cuz you're friends. And he would every single time if we hit him like on the side of the head like a little too hard on accident or in a different spot, he would always mention it. Um so it was a
giving y'all's
thing.
warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I feel like I know myself enough to know how to get away with like defend myself because I've been trained to in
Mhm.
multiple ways, and my mother never lets me, like, I always have a pin with me. I know I always have like some sort of thing with me that I can be turned into a weapon, which
I
is really
don't.
fucked up to
I really
say.
need to, but I don't.
And
Mhm.
my hand, like my bag strings are long enough because I make them long to the point you can hold them and
Mhm.
choke them. But honestly, using your arm is easier. Even as a short
Mhm.
person, context, I'm 5'1". I sure I'm not
Mhm.
arm strong, like strength in arm, but my legs are very strong to the point I can defend myself with that.
Mhm. My dad recently bought me and my mom pepper spray. We've not really had it with us, and I'm not even sure if I can bring it to campus because it might be banned on my campus. Which is a little stupid, in my opinion. Um,
Reasonable enough to think it's stupid because safety,
cause
guys.
Because it's
yeah,
pepper spray, it's not a fucking knife.
yeah,
Like, it's
Oh,
literally just
or
pure
a
self
taser.
defense.
funny enough, there
Yeah.
are I've went to search up because I used to be here's the thing. I would choose the bear over people in general because the amounts of harassment I've gotten from both men and women is bad. But there are certain laws that you can look up and see what can abide. Because I know in my state, you can carry a knife as long as it's not a switch knife and a certain length. So I had a pin knife. So it's not a switch knife. So I had to pull it out and yeah.
Mhm.
Please don't
I
ask.
I plan on getting a knife soon. My job sells some outdoors knives, but I don't really want one of those. I think there's a place I know of that I used to go a bunch when I was a kid that they have a booth that sells like knives, and I'll probably go to that if I can. Just because it's good to have a
Yeah.
knife, not even just for self defense, but it's a good tool to have on you if you ever need one.
It is. I use mine to cut paper.
Open boxes,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm on my campus, we are not allowed to have pepper spray
which is
or
dumb.
any
That
weapon.
I get not
that's
having like a knife, but pepper spray, they
Yeah.
literally use it on trainees for like police, army, all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
not going to cause you long term damage, it's just going to
Yeah.
hurt when it
Yeah. And
happens.
so on my campus, there is like these like blue lights. So
Every
it's
campus has
these,
them.
yeah, there's the blue lights and they're scattered all around. There's one, honestly, I feel like there should be like a double the amount, just because if you are feeling unsafe and you have to go all the way across the park or all the way across the parking lot, that is not ideal.
No, it
um
really isn't. And I know what you're talking about because my school also has them.
because
Yeah, they're not that.
yeah,
They're not as close as they should be.
for those who are unaware of what we are talking about, a good handful of campuses, I don't know if a lot of them or um most campuses have these. I don't fully know. I just know that
I
mine
think it's a
has it.
requirement
And
now.
okay. But so for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, because there is a chance that there's a lot of people who don't, the blue lights are these poles that have a blue light at the top of them. It has is it a button or a phone?
It could be either. Some have the
It
buttons,
could
some
be
have the
either.
phone. Like my campus has some of them, the poles are a button, some are a phone.
Ours
But
is both
mm,
in one.
yeah, I've never looked at mine closely. I probably should the next time this next year while I'm at campus, just in case, because my classes are later this coming year. And that does mean that I might be walking home back to my dorm while it's dark out, and that is not ideal. um, and but so these will have like a phone or a button or both, and you'll be able to go up to them, hit the button, grab the phone, whatever, and it'll immediately call the police to your location. And it is very helpful because if you are feeling unsafe, it'll scare away whoever's following you. If you are being attacked, if you hit that button really quick, the police will be coming, and that could also scare them away. But even if you are being attacked and they aren't scared away, the police are coming.
I don't know if it's
So
just my school that has this, but my school has made even an app where you can contact it via your phone and share your location with other people.
Ours don't,
I've
but
not
my
heard of that.
campus has its own police force that have their own
Ours
Okay.
too.
special number to like immediately get
Mhm.
them, and they'll get to you
Yeah.
in like 5 minutes, at
Yeah.
Yeah,
most 10.
no, because
One time I called them and they took like 20 minutes to get there because they messed up what location it was. Luckily, I was not
oh
in any danger. It was more of a medical situation for someone else
Mhm.
who had been drinking, drank too much, didn't even know them. I was in the location as they were
Mhm.
there, and I was like, oh shit,
Mhm.
someone should probably call help.
Yeah.
no, because
Yeah.
I had to keep these in mind every time I like last year. All my classes ended around like 6, And keep in mind, this is around the winter, so it's really dark by then. So I
Yeah.
had to keep in mind and make sure we're walking. Luckily, there was one at least in every street corner. Like when I was getting out of class, when I was right by my parking deck as well, from getting food everywhere. There's everywhere.
Yeah.
But even
The
so, it was terrifying.
campuses do a good job of making sure that people can be safe if they do run into a situation where they are not quite as safe as everybody would hope. But we are getting like a little bit off topic. It's not super off topic because it is still in the same vein of of things, but I do want to bring us back to the man versus bear topic.
Yes. Let's go back to
The
bad experiences with Tori. All right.
Oh no.
So one time, you know how sometimes Instagram will have like little like questions and you like can respond with the photo on your story?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Just gonna say my private account is fully private. No one's gonna find it. Thank you very much. Anyways, so I decided to participate in just one because one of my best friends did it, and it was like, oh, post a baby picture of you.
Oh, I've
Um,
seen that one.
Oh
I
yeah.
know which one
no.
you're talking about.
So I did it, and I get this message request from some guy who apparently went to the same high school as me. I'd never talked to this dude because I didn't talk to anyone in high school other than literally my best friends. Um,
Real.
because I was like, quiet kid, thank you very much. Anyways, so I get this message and I'm gonna read it word by word. So you'll know I'm not exaggerating any of it. You were a
Oh
cute
no.
kid, haha. We had gym together in high school and I always thought you were pretty, by the way. I've never talked to this man, and you're gonna choose the moment I post a baby photo. A photo of
That
me as
is
like a 1-year-old to hit on me.
that is the worst time, and it is also one of it also shows very much how men that some men, not all men, some men do not realize do not pay attention to how things will come off like that
And also,
because like
like,
they
what
they think
times
it's
are
fine,
and are not a good
appropriate.
time to hit on
Yeah.
someone. Because
Yeah,
that
like
is not an appropriate moment. You could have waited
if
till I posted a normal photo of myself. And also,
yeah,
this
it's
was
like
2 years after I graduated, and you're still thinking about me from high school.
yeah.
I've never cringed so hard, and I've seen some
Yeah.
cringy worthy things.
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons I've seen why so many women choose the man is somebody has mentioned that the that at least with the bear nobody will ask what I was wearing or ask or be like, "Oh, he was such a good kid."
He has so much
Or
potential.
so much potential. And then another one is it is a lot scarier because to be alone in the woods with a man because if you scream, the bear might leave you alone. If you scream with a man, there's a good chance he won't leave you alone.
And it's
And
really hard to scare off a man.
cuz
But we
yeah,
know
cuz
exactly how you can scare off a black bear.
yeah.
I've somehow succeeded in scaring men.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But and when and the man knows exactly what it's doing while a bear doesn't exactly like yes it knows that it's eating you but it doesn't have the same cognitive abilities as we as humans do um of empathy of like of being aware of situations while the man is a human has the same capabilities of being aware of the situation of being aware of what they're doing and yet many men, not all men, nowhere near all men, because there are a lot of good men out there, but there's enough bad men that will just hurt you, SA you, grape you, do whatever they want to do while ignoring your pleas and enjoying your pleas and just finding that enjoyable to the point where it is absolutely terrifying to be alone with a man, because you know exactly that, you know that they know what they're doing. You know that. With a bear, you're 90% sure that they don't fully know that you are terrified, that you don't want to be in this situation, that you don't want to be mauled.
And on the
Like,
topic of
of
good
course they
men,
know it, but yeah.
yeah, on the topic of good men, I will now list my exceptions. Um, any men that I would pick over a bear. Starting off strong, of course, the men in my family, specifically the men on my mom's side of the family and my own father.
Mhm.
None of those men would do anything to me.
Mhm.
And I can comfortably say that, okay?
Yeah.
Other side of the family, I can't say the same. But,
Yeah.
anyways, anyways, one of my uncles is a creep, so.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't. I was told when I was younger not to wear a bathing suit around him, so. That,
That's how
Oh,
by the
you
way,
know.
that's how you know.
fathers, if you ever have to tell your daughter to change when you're a family member or a friend of yours is coming over, you should
Don't invite
not
that
be
family
having
member.
that person around your child in the first
You
place.
really
I'm
shouldn't.
sorry. Because your child should
Because,
never have to change in order to feel comfortable around someone like that.
yeah, because especially in your own home, you are supposed to feel safe. You are supposed to feel like you can dress however you want. Like, sometimes I'll wear like a tank top in my house, in at home, and like, cuz like I don't wear tank tops outside. I don't like to. I don't like how I look in them a whole lot, but I feel comfortable enough at home to wear them
Mm-hmm.
around my family, around my mom, around my dad, or around my brother. But if anybody else comes over, or somebody I don't know is around, I won't wear it, because I don't, first of all, I don't know how they are as people. I don't know what they're like. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to see it. I don't know how that person, it's, we're not even just talking about men at this point. It's anybody, because women can do horrendous things as well, even though men are the main perpetrators of these horrendous acts.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
And there are also plenty of men who have suffered from these acts.
yeah.
So,
But yeah,
Yeah,
to continue. Yeah.
I've met a woman, like a, what's it called? I think they were like a year below me, but they failed a grade.
mhm,
They did some horrendous acts towards other students. I knew about it.
mhm,
Yeah.
God.
To continue my list of men that I would pick over the bear.
mhm,
Um, the owner of the tea place near my job. The reasons I would choose this man is because he frequently will check up on me when I'm working, especially late shifts, to make sure I'm okay. Um, Whenever I've had to wait for like an Uber or for someone to pick me up at like 10 p.m., because that's when I close at my job often, and when it was dark, he would welcome me into his store to just have somewhere lit up and safe. And his daughter would always be there too, so I knew it was like a safe spot. He frequently will give me free drinks just because he knows I'm there for long periods of time at my job, like on long, like 7, 8 hour shifts. He has come in and just said, "Here, have a glass of tea. Don't worry about it, you don't have to pay for it." So I would trust him because, one, he is a father, he has multiple daughters. And I'm not saying all men
mhm,
who have daughters are safe, but it's
mhm.
more likely. Um,
He is one of the people that you can clearly tell is a safe person because he has
yes.
daughters.
Yes, and because his daughters are close with him and clearly they are comfortable with him. And he is a
Mhm,
fatherly person, aka he checks on me frequently just to make sure, because I
mhm,
work alone. I don't work with
mhm,
anyone else. It's only me typically. So he checks in just to make sure I'm okay. Uh Following that trend, my boss. because he also frequently checks in on me. He will watch the cameras while I'm there to make sure I am safe, that I'm not threatened. And if need be, he would come down there as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Next, the guy at Dunkin'. Why? He's always been very friendly to me.
The guy at Dunkin', we love that.
The guy at Dunkin', I don't know his name. I wish I did because he's very nice. Um, he frequently will give me free donuts and just have a nice little conversation with me, but not in like a weird way, okay? He's not giving me free food in a weird way because trust me, I have experienced it in a weird way before.
Mm.
I've experienced men who will buy things or give me things expecting stuff in return. Which is why I tend to not let men buy things for me or give me things. I will make sure I pay so that they cannot expect any sort of repayment in anything other than financial means.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced it where they've expected a relationship with me because
Oh, that's
they've bought me
weird though.
things. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
I didn't ask you to buy me anything. I didn't want you to buy me anything. I didn't, like, tell you, oh, could you please buy me this? I didn't want that. I offered to pay. I said, no, it's okay. I don't need it. And yet you now expect me to have a relationship with you.
People
Now,
who would think that are delusional.
the end
yes.
of the. Yeah, exactly. The end of the list for now, because there's probably other men that I would, but my ex is on the list because I will. I feel like saying my ex has bad connotations because it's like, oh, well, that's your ex boyfriend. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to make sure it's clear I broke up with this ex because I realized I did not feel any romantic attraction towards them, and I felt it was unfair for me to essentially lead him on, even if that was never my intention. But because I did not feel the same way, it felt like I was leading him on. And so I broke up with him, but he was always very polite. He was essentially what you could call chivalrous and a gentleman because
Mm-hmm.
he introduced himself to my parents the first time he ever came to my house, left a very good impression on them
Mm-hmm.
before even asking me out, may I say. We hung out a lot. We were talking for over a year before he asked me out.
God damn.
Yeah. We did hangouts with my friends as well, so it wasn't just me and him together at first. Um, to make sure I felt comfortable. He opened doors for me. The first time he ever came over, he brought my favorite candy. So, like, he was a gentleman, and like we did not break up on bad terms. I ended it because I explained to him that I could not be committed in this relationship at the time.
Yeah.
But he is on my list of men because I I don't think he would ever cause harm towards me.
Mm-hmm. I
So
don't
how
have
about your
that
lists?
many. Um, I don't really have that many because I don't really talk to men that often.
That's fair. I
Um,
don't, other than those few.
my my father, I would trust him because first of all, he's never tried anything. Second of all, he is a very he is overall caring even in his own way. He does do things that aren't like great sometimes, but it's more of in the thing of he doesn't understand. um it's in that aspect, less of a malicious way. um and we do get in arguments. We are on opposing like viewpoints, like political viewpoints, moral viewpoints on some things. um but I would still trust him. In like, if I had to be alone in the woods and I could choose the person, he would be one of the people I would choose. My brother as well. We do not get along that much, but
It's
I know that
siblings.
he
That's
would.
expected.
Yeah, he would. Know if it came down to it that he would protect me. He would do his best. We are we have never been close, but we have gotten friendlier over the years. Um my my grandparents down the street, I would trust them. I would trust him, my grandpa down the street, pretty easily. Um my father's dad, I would trust before my grandpa on my mom's side. I would have trusted him because he took care of me and my brother um for basically every weekend he that that he could, because my parents were very busy people, trying to take care of us, but also trying to like do everything that as parents. um he we would stay at his house with my grandma, him and my grandma, for weekends all the time, and I got along with him amazingly. I loved hanging out with him. It devastated me when he passed away when I was in 5th grade. I never really showed it, but I was really upset because I am one of those people that doesn't really show my emotions about death. Like, it doesn't bother me a lot, but like at the same time, I'm sad about it. It's hard to explain. um, those are the main people that I would trust. Just like direct family, basically, not like an extended family. That this actually reminds me, which of one thing. So when my great grandma had passed away, we had like this big funeral thing. It wasn't exactly a funeral. Like I don't know. And like family I had never met before was there, and one of the reasons I say that I would trust my brother is because of this. He so like this great uncle of ours or something. I don't remember that I've never met. I've never met this man in my life. Um I'm sitting and he comes over and he's talking to me and I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm just shaking my head very quietly, listening because I've never met this man in my life. I don't know this man. Um and he hugs me, which makes me really uncomfortable because I've never met you in my life. We may be family, but I've never met you before. Um but my brother like steps in and says like, "Hey, they don't really like physical touch. They don't really like hugging that much." And he backs off, and I really appreciate that from my brother.
Augusto,
So,
do you have a list?
My list is very short.
Eh.
It would just be my brother and my father. One, if I did get put in the woods, my father knows a lot of survival skills. So he
He
is
would
very
be
good
your
at surviving.
first choice.
Yeah, no, and my brother, he also knows a lot of survival skills. Because he was in the Boy Scouts and stuff like that. Sure, he's a
Yeah.
bit of a dickhead, but
my
has
brother and
struggled.
dad are both hunters. So,
My dad's also a hunter. Um,
My dad
no, because he told me
isn't, but a
about
lot of my
stories about him.
uncles are. Like, as I said, cabin in the woods that, like, my family often visits. And yeah, there is a gun safe in that cabin that only my
No,
grandfather has the code to.
whoa.
And my
No,
one
because my
cousin who looks after my grandparents now that they're older. But yeah.
hmm
no, because my father told me about stories how he made his own gun.
hmm
So you have to keep that in mind. I would choose him first because he knows
Yeah.
a lot about that. But
hmm
outside of family, I wouldn't even choose any of my uncles. Context, you guys have to realize, um, not that great of family history.
yeah.
There's a lot of weird stereotypes, but aside from that, I wouldn't choose any of my uncles apart from one uncle who I actually thought as my father. I don't talk to him anymore, but he'll be one of my last choices because I know he's chill and
hmm
safe. ish.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from like main family, maybe my dad's dad, my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
since similar to my father, he knows a lot about hunting. But I have never seen him with malicious intent. He's like my brother, gets distracted and likes video games. I wish I was joking.
You.
You know where the ADHD comes from.
Yeah, it's from him. I
Time
think both
for
ADHD and autism comes from him.
more creepy stories with Tori.
Oh my god.
I would like to preface all
Wait.
of these stories with the fact that I have been considered to be a pretty girl. Not drop dead gorgeous, but pretty. I've had people come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty." Not in an egocentric way, but this is to explain why I've had so many bad experiences. Is not only have people considered me pretty, but I also do look younger than my age, which is always something I take into consideration when someone has any type of attraction towards me. Because I do have to be careful about that as someone who can look like a 14-year-old. That maybe the people who have attraction towards me don't have the best intents. But anyways, I'm gonna in the hopes to keep this monetized if we can get it monetized. I'm just gonna say I have received way too many eggplant photos as a minor. Way too fucking many. Without any, I never asked for them because let's be real, what minor asks for those?
Yeah.
I don't think any.
Exactly. And it would be from guys at my own school. It would be from older men who would find my accounts and stuff and see photos of me and send those without, of course, any prompting by me. And when I would tell those men that I was blocking them, they would have the nerve to ask me why. Why?
Pathetic. Sorry.
Yeah. So when I say pretty much most of the time I would choose the bear, it's because I've been unfortunate as someone who identifies as female, is AFAB. I have had the misfortune of having numerous bad encounters with men, both my age and older. I've had multiple guys befriend me while the whole time we were friends actually wanting to date me. And making advances on me while all I wanted from them was a friendship.
So moving back towards I had mentioned towards the beginning of this podcast episode, that I had watched a couple of videos. I had watched one video and watched part of another one. I intended on finishing the second one before we came and did this, but it didn't end up happening due to distractions. Difficulties.
Guys.
Those things will be talked about in another podcast because things are frustrating.
I could have been 2 hours late and still be fine.
Shut up.
Nuh-uh.
We wanted to start this at 8 at the latest, and we started
10
at
p.m.
9. We started at 9.
I could have taken a shower.
Only people who watched the first one will understand why that's funny.
And still be on time.
But in one of the videos that I had watched, they had mentioned that there was a survey that was taken. Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
Cat feature.
I'm in the middle of a podcast episode. I gotta talk. I'm sorry, baby. I know you want so much attention. Okay.
I can't believe you're doing this to your cat.
Neglecting her.
Fine. Come here. Come here, Noel. Come here. Come here, baby. Get on the lap. We'll talk while I'll talk while you're on my lap and I'll give you attention. But so there was a survey that was taken with men and women. And it was asked of both genders to mark where they are looking when at when they're looking when it comes to like this path picture. Where are you looking if you were on this path? And a lot of men, they were very few deviated from the center of the path, looking straight forward and just where they're going. And then you look at the women, they were looking to the sides, and very little of their attention was focused where they are going. They were
Yeah.
focused more on the sides, where the shadows were, where the dark was, instead of where they're walking towards. And it's very interesting to think about because it really does show you the difference that men and women live in our society, even just in America. This it's because we can only talk about our experiences from America. None of us are from other countries. We are all from America in like a general area of America.
It's a huge country.
Yeah. So, and it's really interesting because it's not just American women who are saying, I would rather choose the bear. It is women from all over the world who have freedoms, the freedom of speech, that can say these things without getting um big repercussions. I know, baby, I know. Um, um, uh, so and it's a thing of it's really interesting to see how the patriarchy is very much affecting everybody. Even if you don't think that it's affecting you a lot, when you sit and think about where you look when you're walking at night alone, you don't think about it if you're a woman. If you're AFAB, if you're a woman, if you look feminine in some way, it's it's ingrained in you to do certain things for your safety.
To always be aware of your surroundings. I
Yes.
I do not have the luck, the joy of just being able to be in my own world when I'm walking
Yeah.
around. I don't have
It
that.
is.
We are told, like, as people who are born female, assigned female at birth, or present female, feminine, we are taught to always be paying attention to your surroundings. You can listen to music, but you have to be able to hear what's going
Yes.
on around you. So I've never been
Or
able to just tune out the world with headphones while walking
yeah.
around. I've never been
Like
able to be on my phone walking around. Even just pulling a
yeah.
map, I'm constantly scanning where I am and what's around me.
Yeah. Cuz if you ever pay attention to other women, or if you're a man, if you ever actually pay attention to how women are acting when they're walking down the street. Hi baby. I know you. What are you doing? Okay.
I'll bring you back to this program after you listen about a teen cat.
You'll likely notice that our heads are on a swivel. We are looking over our shoulder very briefly, and we have gotten used to very quick glances and taking in the information very quickly. And the biggest issue is how we are taught growing up. Men Boys will be boys is the worst statement to ever exist, because it just perpetuates the misogyny, the patriarchy. I would like a little bit of the patriarchy even more. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. Because when you think about it, it's just excusing away a boy's actions.
And by not
If
holding these boys accountable for their actions, no matter how old, you're only opening the gates up for worse behavior.
yes,
Just saying.
if you let a boy, like if you're a mother or a father and you're letting your son tease a girl even though she has said multiple times, I don't like that, please stop it, I don't like it, and you tell her boys will be boys, you're just telling your son, oh, it's okay if I act this way even if she doesn't like it, I can do whatever I want because I'm a boy.
And
Because
that is exactly the reason girls have grown to be cautious.
yes, because from a young age, girls are taught basically our feelings do not matter unless we are hyper vigilant. Unless we pay attention to, you heard my stomach. I know. She whipped her head around at me like, what was that?
That's funny.
It was hilarious. I wish I caught that on camera. It was just, she was rubbing her head against the desk and then grumble, grumble, whip.
You kept like, what the hell?
What the hell? You've got mac and cheese right here. Why is your stomach grumbling? I don't know, buddy.
Maybe it's that dairy, huh?
Yeah.
It might be the dairy. But yeah, it's a thing of like like most girls growing up in today's society have, I love you, but I need to be able to focus.
You didn't take your medication.
I didn't, but it's also she's in my face and she's rubbing against my headphones, which is making a noise. So it's a little bit of both. So
Oh
she,
no.
like girls growing up in today's society just automatically, like, even if it's subconscious, learn how to survive in today's society. And it's not even, it doesn't even work most of the time. Because it's still a 1 in 3 chance that you will be the next victim.
Well, I feel like we're coming to a wraps on this topic.
Yeah.
And since this is one of the more heavier topics, I think we should end this off on a positive note, and I will recount the frustrations of the outfit I chose today at work.
Oh my god.
All right.
So really quick, we could also spin the wheel to see for another topic.
Let's spin the wheel for next
the
week's
last
topic.
30-ish minutes, an hour.
True.
Just so then we have another topic to talk about and transition into.
But yeah, let me recount my outfit decision for the day.
Oh
and
my
the
goodness.
frustrations associated with this.
Dude, my outfit was literally a digital circus shirt, some shorts, a chain, and a necklace.
Okay.
Clown theme outfit.
Alright, so let me describe my outfit. It was a real cute outfit. I had a white top with a like light blue long flowy skirt and like a nice little like sweater like cardigan thing that ties up in the front. Real cute outfit. I would just like to ask, do either of you know what like a bodysuit is?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, it's pretty much a like top-like garment, but it goes all the way down to where the crotch is, and there's a strip of fabric there. Now, I wear a lot of these to my job because I own a lot of crop tops, and that's not exactly work appropriate, right? So bodysuits ensure that like my shirt's not gonna rise up because I do a lot of like lifting and moving stuff at my job, reaching up. So like even a normal length shirt will likely ride up. So anyways, I wear a lot of bodysuits. Now a lot of bodysuits have a nice little feature at the crotch area with either buttons or Velcro so that you can remove that area, you know?
Yeah.
For if you have to use the restroom. Yeah, well, the nice white bodysuit I wore today, that was like a tank top, had no such thing. It was just that strip of connecting fabric, which means that in order to go to the restroom, you have to fully take it off, strip to your undergarments. It will also give you the worst wedgie in your life. Bodysuits, they suck. They suck, they suck, they suck. You will have a wedgie all day. So I'm like, I cannot pee during work today. Because in order to do that, I have to strip. And as I said, I work by myself. So when I go to the bathroom, I'm essentially leaving the store like kind of unwatched for like a minute. And it was not going to be a minute process to to remove that bodysuit. And I was wearing a pair of shorts because I always wear shorts under a skirt or a dress, just so that, because as I say, I do a lot of moving. It does. I do a lot of movement at my job, and I don't want to like accidentally flash anybody with my underwear. Anyways, so not only am I wearing a bodysuit, I'm wearing a pair of shorts over that bodysuit. And I'm like, I really have to pee. Let me just wait till my coworker comes in. And I'll just use the bathroom when my coworker comes in, because then at least someone's watching the store. It is peeing with a bodysuit on is a big process, guys. I do not recommend it. It sucks. It really sucks. It's like as bad as wearing a romper, which a romper is like, it kind of looks like a dress, but it's shorts instead of a skirt, pretty much.
Yep.
Which means that you have that same process of having to essentially strip to your undergarments to pee. Wearing that and going into a public restroom is not a fun experience, guys.
No, it's not.
Yikes.
As someone feminine presenting, no fun. No fun. Like, I looked real pretty, I looked real cute. Not a fun experience, guys. And I'm trying to do this, I'm like trying to use the bathroom as quick as possible because my coworker's now here and I want to leave because my shift's over. And in case they need to go into the bathroom, because our schedules, our like stuff goes in the bathroom. Not fun. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. I will wear it again though to work.
Of course.
I'm simply wearing a shirt that says sarcasm may occur periodically, and sarcasm is spelled out with the periodic elements.
I will say the first thing I did when I got home was change out of that bodysuit. I am now wearing an oversized t-shirt and the same shorts that I was wearing under the skirt.
Fair enough.
Right. Okay. So I think we should just end it here because
should we spin the wheel to like announce next
for next episode maybe?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, next episode we're gonna be talking about
drum roll.
I have no
driving.
Driving.
Oh no.
Driving.
We're
next week we're
Augusto, you and I are getting called out next week.
I know I was focused on solitaire the entire time, but oh no.
We're gonna talk about your license.
Let me add this in for everybody to have a little suspension. It doesn't help that I'm gonna start learning how to drive a motorcycle.
Oh, Alright, with that being said, I hope everybody stays safe. We've all chosen the bear. And we hope that everybody is staying safe and doing everything you guys need to do in order to be safe and stay alive. And you are cared about. We just want to make sure everybody knows that is watching this. Even if you don't think so, you are. And that any experiences that you guys have had You are valid. You do not need to sit with them alone, and everything. But with that all being said, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your nights or days, whatever time of day it is, and don't get lost in the grove. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.